Hey everyone, this is John with Lead Capture IO. It's October 18th, 2024, and in this video I'm going to share a few of the recent updates that we've made to the Lead Capture IO platform in our last sprint, and then some of the exciting things that we're currently working on now and that should come out shortly. So let's just dive right into it. This first thing is the ability to add drop-down fields into multiple columns. So this is a pretty key UI update to the lead capture form builder, and it's a highly requested feature that we were able to finally knock out in the last sprint. So let me just show you how this works. So I'm inside of a test lead capture form here, and you'll see that currently there's 3 different fields here. And the way the system has always worked is each of the fields stacks into one column. But in some cases, people want the fields to show up side by side in multiple columns. For example, a pretty common setup that I see is something where it's zip code here in one column, and then next to it is something like a drop down field or something like that. So just to show you how to set this up, it's pretty easy. You can go into an individual field here, so in this case the contact form. Then here's the 3 fields in the form field section. Then if you go down to step layout override, where is it? Step layout override, go here, expand this, and then response column width, you could just play with it and choose the number that makes it look the best. Now, it's not, this view right here that you're seeing is not to scale, so you still want to put it on your website and test it out there, but let's just say we switch it to 2. You'll see now there's 2 columns, and the system knows to automatically push that, to start that 3rd drop down in the next row here. So if we had a 4th drop down field or a fourth form field, it would show up here. So if we choose 3, you have 3 across. That looks kind of tight, but again, this view is not to scale, so it may look better on a wider form. So let's just go with 2, and then I'll come up here and click save, and then you'll see how this looks. If we just preview it here, and that's how it looks. So it looks much better on a wider screen. So this works for all the fields. So let's just delete phone here in this example. I'll just show you if you wanted something like email address, or actually let's just make this something like zip code. And then you could do something like add form field, and let's go with like car make or car model. And then you can make this like a select option. And then maybe we want zip code first. And just like that, we now have a lead capture form with 2 different columns. So this improves the flexibility here and the ability to create a more customized setup with your fields. So that is one of the bigger changes that we made. Let's dive into some of the additional enhancements. So this one is pretty key for those of you who sell leads or are using a tool like Zapier and Pabbly Connect. We currently now pass the user agent data into Zapier and Pabbly. So this is the information from the browser that a lot of lead buyers and clients now require for compliance reasons. We have always passed that through via the webhook and integrations, but now we're also passing it through Zapier and Pabbly Connect. So we got that information in there. That was a pretty critical update that we needed to get in, so we squeezed that in. This one is a huge update, the lead verification analytics page. So it's basically done, and we had it deployed for probably about, 30 minutes yesterday, but there was a bug with it that was kind of slowing down the dashboard. So we had to roll it back, and we just opted to be on the safer side and fix it in staging, and then we'll redeploy it pretty soon, maybe in our next sprint. So what this will look like here is when you click on lead verification, instead of seeing the OTP and credit purchase screen, you're actually going to see a screen that shows you charts and graphs and shows you how many lead verifications you've sent in total and how many have been verified. So it will just give you more visibility into performance, and then you can even drill down into your lead capture form level. So this is the first of our big updates on the lead verification suite, and then there's so much more that will follow behind that. And I'm really excited about this. It's been a lot of work for the team. And unfortunately, we couldn't get it fully deployed yesterday, but like I said, it's pretty close to being live. And as soon as that's live, I'll let you all know. What else has changed? Let's take a look. So this here, so let me go to a form. So inside of the lead capture form analytics section, we have the pie chart that shows you breakdown by device. There was a bug here where it was over reporting mobile, so we fixed that. So now you should be seeing proper reporting with the device breakdown. So if you're getting more submissions via desktop, then you'll see that now, and it'll just be better reporting here. So that was a pretty key thing that we had to fix. So most of our reporting should all be cleaned up at this point, and we can move on to bigger and better things. And beyond that, just various backend enhancements and updates. The team is always working on the backend because reliability is like a number one thing for us. So we always want to make sure the system's functioning fine, is super fast, and always just kind of tweaking things there. And then there's just a bunch of things that's not really worth covering, just small tweaks here and there. Now, what's in progress? So, like I said, we have the lead verification analytics page that will be launched shortly, and that again will open up a ton of visibility into performance of OTP lead verifications. Then there's coming behind that, we have our TCPA compliance features. So with the FCC legislation coming down in 2025, there's a lot of changes to not just people who are selling leads, but basically most lead generators and marketers who are generating leads and following up with various systems, whether that's an AI-based system or an automated dialer or text-based system. You're probably going to want to be covered for TCPA compliance, and there's a lot of updates that need to be made. I have a blog post on it, and you can find that over at the Lead Capture IO blog. But the main thing to note here is that we're building out a new system that allows you to easily capture TCPA consent, and then we're tagging the consent as verified consent or non-verified consent, and you can capture that consent per company that you're sending leads to if you're selling leads or if you're an agency sending leads to clients. And this will just make sure that you're verified, and the other that you're covered, I mean, from the consent side. And the other benefit here is that it will increase the perceived value of your leads if you're, again, selling them, because you can send your leads to clients and say, this particular lead has provided verified consent. Now, if you're not a lead seller, if you're just generating leads for yourself or for your sales team, this will also help you, number one, understand if the lead even provided consent in the first place, and then number two, keep yourself covered in the event of FCC litigation or something like that. We also store leads for 5 years, so that's another pretty key thing for TCPA. But we're going to make sure you're all covered there. And in addition to the tagging system, we're launching a template system that will provide you with pre-written TCPA consent disclosure copy that you could just drop right into your lead capture forms without really having to think about it, and just modify a couple of things. So all of that will be in the system soon. It's currently in progress now. The next big thing we're also working on related to the TCPA one-to-one consent is the active prospect trusted form integration. So they've made a lot of improvements recently with how trusted form works. I forget exactly what they call the feature. It's like the trusted form check or something like that, or I'm blanking on the name of it, but we need to make some updates so that way our trusted form integration is now working with their recent updates. So that's coming out shortly. Then beyond that, we're also working on having an easy way to dynamically show car make and models in drop downs. So this way, if you're running a lead capture form and you need someone to input their car make and model, all that data will automatically populate, and you will not have to either have them enter it in manually or try to enter in the makes and models via dropdown, which is pretty impossible at this point with so many makes and models going back decades at this point. So that will be live for all of you who need that type of field. And then beyond that, another really key thing that we're working on, and I'm super excited about, is the ability to add custom classes to fields. So what this will do is it will allow for even more flexibility. For example, you'll be able to add a custom class to a button or a headline or the lead capture form body, like the entire block that all of the information appears in. So you could have a class, and then within that class, you can define custom CSS and JavaScript, which will basically allow you to do a whole ton of styling outside of the system. And then beyond that, more various updates are in the works and being planned for the rest of the year. And this includes continued lead form builder flexibility, some improvements to the lead capture forms. We're always continuing to focus on that. Email verification is coming out soon and so much more, but we really need to knock out the TCPA compliance stuff. It's kind of a huge deal right now. So that's where we're currently focused. If you have any questions or any feature requests, please send them my way. We always build around the needs of our users, so I take every single feature request seriously. If we do not get to your feature request, don't take it personally. We just have a lot to work on, but we do add it to our roadmap and prioritize a lot of requests based on popularity and just what's needed. So thank you, and I will be shooting another one of these videos again, hopefully shorter next time we have our next release, which should be in about a week or two.